Hey everybody, Charlie and I are two here, and welcome back to the Great Ace Attorney Chronicles. When we last left off, well, we got kicked out of Miss Pavlova's room without the ability to inspect her case to see what kind of animal pet she has in there. We're guessing a snake, but we don't know for sure. So now we're out here in the hallway, and we're going to talk to Biff. Biff, what do you got for us, old man? I really wish we'd had a chance to look around in Miss Pavlova's cabin. Stroganoff. What? Why you look like that? You want something? Maybe. You want me to throw you out again, huh? Oh, no. Definitely not that. Next time I have to throw you out, I show you where lobsters spend winter. Understand? Understand. Maybe I should steer clear of him until he's forgotten my face. That's probably going to be a while. I don't think he'll ever forget your face, Naruhodo-san. Okay, so it looks like we're going to have to go to... back. And we're going to have to move to our cabin. Now in January, SS Burya, first class... cabin number 1. Looks like they're still investigating in here. Yes, on that subject, I wonder if Inspector Hosonaga is unscathed. What do you mean, unscathed? Surely you haven't forgotten, have you, Naruhodo-san? Don't you remember what he said about allowing you out of this cabin to investigate? He was going to talk to the captain about it. He said he'd lay his life on the line for you. Oh, yes. But I'm sure he was exaggerating. Let's see what he has to say for himself. He might have some new information for us. You never know. Yeah, but is he in here? I don't think he's in here. So we can look at the shelf, the bookshelf again. We can look at the rules again. We can talk to this man. Everything else down here. Oh, we can look at the outline. So it's clear that these letters were written in the ink that was somehow spilt on the floor. And they spell the Russian word for wardrobe. It does seem to be an unambiguous pointer to you, Naruhodo-san, that you were sleeping in there. But to be truly unambiguous, it should have just spelt out my name, don't you think? Well, either way, one fact remains. It's hard to imagine that Kazuma-sama would have written his last words, or word, in Russian. Which begs the question of who did write it? I would assume the female? Alright, let's look at the bookcase. All the books provided for passengers occupying this cabin neatly arranged on the shelf. They were all over the place when we first looked around, if you remember. Oh yes, and you tidied them up, didn't you? But why? Why would you mess with a crime scene? You have to look after the ship's property. Unruly behavior in the cabin leads to damage. But it really wasn't me who knocked them over. Well anyway, I feel much better now that they're neatly lined up. I can't relax when things are untidy. You messed with a crime scene. Alright, let's look at the rules again. These are the rules of passage for travel aboard the SS Burya. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. You know, there's a sword laying behind you there. So by bringing her pet on board, Miss Pavlova has broken the rules. She called it her friend, didn't she? Yes, although we don't know what form this friend takes as of yet. I'm almost certain that whatever it is, it's inside the traveling case in her cabin. A friend. There's more to this than it seems, I think. Well, duh. Let's talk to this guy. You, where did you go? Oh, sorry, I just went to the next door cabin to investigate. Why? Who gave you permission for this? Well, Seaman Hosonaga did. That new Japanese, was it? Later I will roll him into a ball and throw him in cold room. That's a weird punishment. Oh, he's gone back to guarding the door. I hope Inspector Hosonaga doesn't find himself in too much trouble on our account. He's really gone out of his way to help us, hasn't he? When we get back to Japan, we'll have to take him for a steak at La Carnival. That could be a very long time from now, Naruhodo-san. I thought he went back to the door. Oh, the desk is able to be viewed again? Not the ink. This is where Kazuma spent his final moments, writing his diary. 1:23 a.m. I can hear a faint whistling sound. 1:35 a.m. What looks like some sort of speckled band is dangling from the ventilator grill. Looking at his writing here on this page, it's almost impossible to believe that he's gone. Kazuma-sama left us valuable clue in these words, I'm sure of it. We'll have to solve this mystery, Naruhodo-san. We will. Yeah, we're working on it. Oh, there he is. He's right there. He's creepily standing just outside of the frame. We can look at the vent again. So this ventilator joins Miss Pavlova's cabin. Yes, that's right. And just a few minutes before he died, Kazuma saw something emerging from it. The speckled band, as he described it. Yeah, we know this. If only Miss Pavlova had been able to shed some light on it, but she seemed as baffled as we are. Yes. I wonder if she's telling us everything, though. She's not. I'm not sure. I know most people aboard would say the same about me, but there was something about that woman that didn't sit right with me. Dresser, bed. Guess we gotta talk to Hosonaga. Oh, he got beat up. Like literally beat up. Ah, you're back. Inspector, what happened to you? Your faces. Please, don't worry about it. They're just scratches. Made by a bear, maybe? When I told the captain I'd given you permission to investigate, he told me he'd pummel me with his fists and then toss me overboard. What? But the pummeling was over in a flash, and he must have decided against throwing me overboard. So it was nothing, really. Looks like he wasn't joking when he said he'd lay his life on the line if he had to. Well, thanks to your efforts, we now know a little about the neighboring cabin. Yes, so I understand. Oh. I bumped into a man claiming to be a great detective a little while ago. I think his name was something like Herlock Sholmes. I don't think he was German, though. Oh, Herlock Sholmes. Ah, that explains it. Shall we compare notes, then? We can tell you what we found out. Yes, let's do it. All right, the cabin next door. What? Nikolina Pavlova? She's in the cabin next door? Oh, do you know who she is? Please, what self-respecting ballet fan wouldn't know that graceful angel? Ballet fan, okay. I see you got some depth to you. Speaking of which, I have a little history with the ballet as well. My wife used to be a ballet dancer. Used to be. Oops, I think I upset him there. Professional, no doubt. She wasn't just like, she actually danced professionally in different countries. It was actually kind of cool. I think I upset him there. Well, that tells us the neighboring cabin is unrelated to this case, at least. Why? Why would that tell you that it's unrelated? There's no way that you could glean that it's unrelated based off of that. Oh, how? Because angels don't go around committing crimes, do they? She's not an angel. Oops, now I've definitely upset him. Inspector, has your investigation in here proved fruitful? If I'm honest, there's very little more I can do. Our duty is to make sure the scene isn't disturbed. Ready to hand over to the Hong Kong police. Yeah, but we just lifted up all those books and that statue. So I'm just keeping watch here. Try not to take my eyes off the job. Oh, I see. Ah, there is one thing. I do have a small piece of new information for you. Oh, what? Yes, do tell us, Inspector, please. New information. What is this new information you have, Inspector? It's this. The Burya's medical officer had finished his examination of the body. I managed to obtain the report. Oh? Kazuma's post-mortem report? Kazuma-sama. So, what was the cause of death? Damage to the cervical vertebrae. That's what was written in this report. His neck was broken? Yes, it would seem so. There were no obvious wounds or other signs of injury. So at first, I think they were considering poison. But it turns out they found no trace of poison in his system at all. How would they deduce if he had poison in him or not if we're on a ship in the middle of the ocean? Well, what weapon was used then? Nothing has been found as yet, but the fact that there are no signs of a wound suggests it may have been a blunt object, something that wouldn't leave a mark. It would leave bruising. Broken neck. Oh, I think I've put it all together. It was a mouse. Her friend is a mouse. It ran around, it scared him. He jumped on the table, he fell off the table and broke his neck. Alright, that's my current theory. Oh, I see. All the body's nerves run through the spine to the brain. A strong enough impact to the neck could induce death. This is a possibility, and no obvious wound would be left. Yeah, there would be post-mortem bruising. Poor Kazuma. I have a second copy of the report. If it might be useful, you're welcome to have it. Really? Are you sure? Yeah, it's fine. I trust you. Okay. After all, if I didn't trust you, I'd never have agreed to you leaving this cabin in the first place, would I? Ah. The post-mortem report has been entered into the court record. Report from the SS Burya's medical officer given the cause of death as a cervical spine injury. There were no traces of external injury or poison. The Great Detective. Hold on, before we go to the Great Detective, I'm going to look at the court record. And we're going to look at this. Examine. Victim, male, Far Eastern. Time of death, somewhere between 1 a.m. and a little past 2 a.m. Cause of death, damage to the cervical vertebrae resulting in instant death. The victim's neck was almost certainly broken as a result of a strong blow to the area. No obvious external injuries or traces of poison. Okay. No more pages, hit back. Okay, that's it. It looks like you could see more on that. Hold on, let's examine it again. Can we flip it around or anything? No, we cannot. All right, the Great Detective. Oh, Mr. Sholmes was here, wasn't he? Yes, he seemed to be enjoying himself a little too much as he crept about on the floor investigating. But then he suddenly left. I suppose he might have become bored. Did he say anything at all? Actually, now you mention it, yes, just one thing, but he practically shouted it. It's shoe polish, was all he said, so that mark on the floor is shoe polish. The brownish mark. Shoe polish is what he said. Shoe polish? I wonder what he meant. I think we know what he meant. It's when he was over there by the piece of broken glass. Do you see? Yes, I see. And perhaps he was talking about this brick-colored mark. Do you think? Yes, we do think. Ah, yes, that must be it. But how could Mr. Sholmes know that it's shoe polish? That leaves me cold, I'm afraid. I have no idea. What is it, Susato-san? Well, Kazuma-sama was wearing leather shoes with a very dark tan hue. Dark tan? A sort of dark brownish red, then. Yes, a little like the color of red wine, but darker. I often repaired them for him. Oh, does this mean... So that means he scraped the top of his shoe and slipped? Fell backwards into the table? Broke his neck and then fell forward? That this mark was made by the polish on Kazuma's shoes as they scuffed on the floor? That mark on the floor has been entered into the court record. A piece of a small glass object and what looks like a scuff mark made by Kazuma's shoes were found by the victim's body. It looks like a bell? Or a container of some sorts? That's really all I can tell you at this stage. Let's look at the court record. Let's look at this. Magnifying glass. Does the magnifying glass actually do anything? Or is it just to, like, point out an area? Because it just doesn't look like it's actually helpful here. Yeah. It's not really helpful. Alright, back. Okay. I should return to my post. My fellow crewmen's eyes are boring into the back of my head. Yes, that might be for the best. Thank you. Man, he's still bleeding. Poor Inspector. You look exhausted. I bet he is. Oh, no, well... I feel terrible that I failed to protect Osogi-san. He was my responsibility. Of course, my pain is nothing compared to yours. You were his friends. The truth is, I seem to have had a heavy head ever since I woke this morning. A heavy head ever since you woke this morning. What does a heavy head mean? Like you got a brain fog, or like you were drugged, you ate some bad food, contusion? Heavy head? That's interesting. My head's still throbbing too. Yeah, ours is throbbing as well. Examine. Let's make sure we haven't missed anything. I don't think we have, but just give it a once over. We need, like, time to pass now. Yeah, I think we've looked at everything here. Okay, so now we need to move to the passageway. See if there's more dialogue. See, there's a rat trap as well. Ah, there's a reason that's there. Look, Naruhodo-san. Seaman Stroganoff is gone. Strong enough? The burly Russian sailor who's always crossing his arms and glaring at us. Ugh, all these Russian names are impossible to remember. Alright, so let's go in the cabin then. Tra-la-la. Did you hear that? It sounded like someone singing. Tra-la-la-la, tra-la-la, lira-lira-lay. I did it the great detective way. Well, we know who that is. This caroling. I know that lark-like voice. Well, never mind that now. This is a golden opportunity for us. Yes, you're right. We must seize it. Let's get inside Miss Pavlova's cabin where we can investigate. Definitely. Before that stringy knot crewman comes back. Stringy knot? Oh, Stroganoff. It's Stroganoff, not stringy knot. Okay, so move to Miss Pavlova's. Ah, the case is open. SS Burya, first class cabin, number 2. Miss Pavlova isn't back yet. Susato-san. Oh, where's she gone? Hey, what are you doing? Those are her private things. That's why we're here. There's not a moment to waste, Naruhodo-san. We must investigate as quickly as we can. I suppose you're right. For Kazuma's sake. ... Not just for Kazuma-sama. What do you mean? It can't be long now until we arrive at port in Hong Kong. I don't want you to be in those handcuffs when we get there. Really? We must solve this case, Naruhodo-san. By ourselves if we have to. Yes, we will. Alright, let's examine everything. So, let's look at this bag. Naruhodo-san, are you there? Sorry, I'm right here, yes. Why? Oh, good. I thought you might have climbed into the wardrobe when I wasn't looking. There's no place like home. Believe me, I don't have some strange compulsion to jump inside every wardrobe I see, you know? Well, anyway, I'm not sure anyone could fit inside this one. It's full of beautiful outfits. I suppose they're all stage costumes. I was rather hoping we might find Miss Pavlova's friend hiding in there, but no such luck. Are we going to... Oh, this counts as all one thing. Alright, let's look here. So this ventilator connects to Kazuma's cabin next door. Yes, although what a fool a shipbuilder must be to open a ventilator into another room. Ah, maybe. Maybe it's so that if there's a gas leak next door, the occupant in this cabin would notice and raise the alarm. No. Or the occupants of both cabins would die of gas poisoning. That's a possibility. Anyway, last night, Kazuma wrote that he saw a speckled band coming out of this ventilator. Okay, that's all we're going to do with that, I guess. Don't really care about the door, can't look at the picture. Let's look at these books. They're knocked over. All the books have toppled over together. Look, every single one. Do you think that's a god of the sea, perhaps? He's toppled too, though. It's exactly the same as the bookcase next door, in Kazuma's cabin. Perhaps Miss Pavlova was practicing a difficult ballet pose and fell against the bookcase? No. I don't know. Would she really be practicing ballet on the same night she ran away from her ballet company? Alright then. Must have been you. You lost your temper and knocked them all over in a fit of rage? That's dumb. Not everything bad that happens on the ship is because of me, you know. Well, anyway, I've set them all straight again in here too. I don't like seeing things in disarray. Why would you mess with stuff? Stop messing with stuff. Messing with the crime scene. All right, something's been taken out. Oh my, Miss Pavlova's case is open. It's completely empty inside, but according to the great detective's great deduction, she was hiding her special friend in there. Yes, a friend that she had to keep a secret. Because you're not allowed to bring animals aboard the SS Burya. Wonder what kind of animals she had in there. And more to the point, where is it now? Okay, let's look at her desk. There are just a few books on the desk, nothing else by the looks of it. Well, Miss Pavlova only ran away from the ballet last night. She's hardly occupied this cabin for any time at all. That's true. I wonder what kind of books she likes to read. What does that matter? Let me see. Yes, I see. It would seem that Miss Pavlova enjoys reading books written in Russian. Thanks. I think I probably already knew that. It's rude to ask too much of people, Naruhodo-san. Kindly remember that. Yeah, well, I mean, nobody really... What's this, trash can? suppose every cabin has a waste paper basket. Shall we have a little look and see what's been thrown away? Naruhodo-san. It's poor etiquette to go sifting through someone's rubbish, you know. Ugh, those eyes. She's looking at me like I'm a piece of rubbish now. Wait a minute, we're supposed to be investigating. So why would anything be off limits at this point? You make no sense. However, these are special circumstances, I think. Exactly, we have no choice. Alright, what's in there? There's hardly anything in here at all. Oh, well, that's a little disappointing. Yeah, especially when we made such a big deal about it. There's a plate. Can't look at the plate. Can't look at the coat hooks. We can look at the pitcher here, or teapot. It would seem this teapot is empty. So the natural conclusion is that Russians are a very thirsty people. Or, because Miss Pavlova only came to this cabin last night, she hasn't had the chance to make any tea yet. I mean, it could be either. It's definitely that they are excessively thirsty. I'd lay 1,000 to 1 on it. Really, Ryu? That's silly. You're rather obstinate, aren't you? Naruhodo-san. Okay. Is there anything else? Because it looks like we're kind of done here. Oh, there's the rules. Let's look at the rules. Ah, yes, they're displayed in this cabin too. Look, the SS Burgess ruled us of passage. Passengers must not keep weapons or other dangerous objects in their cabins. Pets are also strictly forbidden. Suppose Miss Pavlova realized that she needed to keep the contents of her case a secret after she read this. Her special friend, I wonder where her friend has disappeared to now. She's probably having fun exploring the ship, I imagine. I just hope Seaman Stroganoff doesn't find it and throw it overboard. Oh yes, so do I. Oh, we can look at the plate. Oh, where'd it go? Go back. Wonder what this little saucer is doing on the floor. Yes, it doesn't look like it's been dropped. More like it was put there deliberately to feed the pets. Ah, do you think there could be a leak in the roof just above here? What, a leak? Is this ship quite safe? I'm sure that even if there's a little leak in the roof, it doesn't mean the whole ship is going to sink. No, you're right. Of course you're right. She's really trying to persuade herself, isn't she? Really, that's it? Pretty sure we've looked at everything but this door. This cabin door has the same simple sort of bolt latch to that our cabin door has. If the bolt's drawn across, there's no way anybody could enter the cabin from outside. Yes, it's not a particularly heavy-duty bolt, is it? But still, it wouldn't slide across of its own accord, would it? No, and the door is made of metal, so there's no chance of trickery using magnets to unbolt from the outside. And it seals up perfectly, too, to stop any seawater coming in. So you couldn't use the method you told me of passing a thread through a crack around the closed door, either. I seem to know a lot of tricks for opening doors. I'm starting to see why they suspect me. Okay, let's go over this way. So there wasn't anything in her wardrobe when we first came in here, almost like she had climbed up the wardrobe to get over here. So on top of the wardrobe is probably what we need to look at on the other cabin. Her friend probably came through there. She probably climbed up to get it, grabbed her friend, climbed back. All right, let's look at this. She may not even went across. She may have just like reached through and grabbed it. There's one of these next to the bed in Kazuma's cabin too. Yes, it's a bell cord. I can't resist. No, why would you bring it? She barely hesitated there, and she gave it a good tug too. No, I didn't actually expect anyone to come. We don't want them to. We're trying to investigate in secret. Okay. And I think we're done. Yeah, we're done. So we need to go to We need to move. And I guess we need to move back to our cabin. Alright, so let's talk to Hosonaga. Nothing else to talk to with him. Let's move to the hallway, I guess. And that's going to do it for this episode. Thanks for watching. If you enjoy my content, please consider a like, a comment, and or a subscribe. Stay tuned for next episode. We'll see you then. Bye-bye.